Good morning and welcome back. It's 4:47 on October the 1st. It's a lovely morning. We've got 60s outside the metro and 70s in the metro, so a nice start. And today's going to be another nice one, just more sunshine than we saw yesterday. A high of about 88 degrees this afternoon. And tomorrow, much of the same, but notice rain's back in the forecast by Thursday with more rain likely on Friday. This is thanks to a disturbance in the Gulf that is going to bring us tropical moisture, likely some tropical showers, and it may linger into parts of the weekend, but this weekend's forecast is a bit trickier, and same thing into early next week. So here's the latest on the disturbance. There's not a whole lot to it, and we don't think it's going to do anything very quickly for the next couple of days. This tropical moisture initially comes at us. The chance of that developing is very, very low, but once we get into this weekend and early next week, that tropical moisture along with the showers and storms are sitting over the Gulf. Wouldn't be shocking to see some weak low pressure begin to develop. Now, we don't know exactly where that may happen. A lot of guidance is suggesting it would be weak and messy, so it makes the forecast a bit harder. A weaker system or a messier system is a lot harder to forecast than a full-fledged hurricane. Now, we don't want a hurricane, but this thing is probably going to be on the weaker side when it's all said and done. Now, it's not useful to show you individual model runs when something like this is setting up where it's going to be weak and messy. Models are going to be all over the place, and the forecast just isn't terribly accurate with those. But what we can do from the models is get an idea on what they're thinking with the overall picture. So I want to show you on Thursday, they show that weak area of maybe lower pressure nearby, giving us a little bit of rain Thursday and Friday. But once we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, notice they do start to show maybe some lower pressure forming in the Gulf of Mexico this weekend. So here's what we're talking about. And then notice they all get spread out and it's all messy. And so that's a sign of a weak, messy low pressure sitting over the Gulf of Mexico. The GFS American model and the European are both showing this remaining messy and spread out and really just a rainmaker. So where would it go? Well, the steering currents with this weekend are very subtle or weak. So that's why this is not going to be in a hurry to do anything. The moisture will be moving into the Gulf the next few days. It's going to sit there, and that's when it could start to develop through the weekend and early next week. So the steering currents are not going to be anything significant, and so it's just going to meander just south of us for multiple days. Now, depending on how close it gets, that will determine if we see any rainfall. But if it stays just to our south or southeast and actually forms into a low, it may not be bad weather early next week. Just depends on how things evolve. Certainly something to watch, but concern level remaining low. Elsewhere, we have the remnants of Joyce. We have Kirk out here. Invest 91 will likely be Leslie in the next few days or so, but Kirk is going to be a major hurricane staying out to sea. This one back here, which is probably going to be Leslie, is going to be heading maybe closer to the island, something to watch long term, but no immediate threats to the Gulf of Mexico with either one of those. For us, though, we're keeping an eye on that tropical moisture. I do think it's going to bring us some rain. I don't think we're going to see any significant development from it through the end of this week. We'll probably start to see some lower pressure form this weekend in the Gulf. So once again, don't be shocked to see maybe a weak depression or a weak storm form at some point from this, but it would mainly be a rainmaker. All signs pointing to dry air and wind shear keeping this on the weak side. But still, some rain, certainly something to watch for some areas, especially for areas of Florida that already got a lot of rain from Helene. So our 7-day, really today and tomorrow are the only completely dry days in the upper 80s, but as we get some rain in here, our temperatures decreasing into the mid to low 80s.